Hi there, my name is Miss Kelly. I am a virtual content specialist for social studies grades 3 through 5. And third graders, you have been so hard at work all year becoming a historian. In this video, we are going to learn how you can prepare for grade 4, where you'll be learning about New York State and local history. So in this video, we will first start out by previewing what you will learn in social studies next year. After that, we're going to talk about some really fun things you can do over the summer to grow your mind as a historian and continue the amazing work that you've started this year. So let's get started looking through the units you will be learning next year. Unit 1, the geography of New York State. In this unit, you will be asking the question, why does geography matter? Geography is the way that the land is made up and how that affects the people and animals in that part of the world. So, in this unit, you will be asking, why does geography matter? How does it affect the people and the animals who live around it? Next, you will be doing Unit 2, and you'll be learning about Native Americans, the first inhabitants of New York State, asking the question, what makes a complex society? You will be learning about how the Native Americans were the first people to live in New York State. And then you will be learning about what made their society so successful and so complex. In Unit 3, you'll be learning about the colonial and revolutionary periods, and you'll be asking the question, what motivates people to explore and colonize other lands? In this unit, you'll be learning about the time period right before and during the Revolutionary War, when America won independence from Great Britain. And as you learn about that time period, you will be asking this question, why? Why do people want to explore and take over other lands? Next, you will be in the Unit 4, which is Freedom in the New Nation, Federal, State, and Local Government and Revolutionary Periods. And in this unit, you will be asking the question, what does it mean to be free? You'll be diving into some really important topics here, thinking about the fact that our country had just become free from Great Britain, but many African Americans did not have their freedom because slavery was still legal in our country during this time. So you will be learning about what it means to be free. Finally, you will start Unit 5, and in this unit, you will learn about making the Empire State, immigration, industrialization, and westward movement. And you will be asking the question, how do people, laws, and technology shape a new nation? So in this unit, you will be learning more about immigration, which is how people move to a new country, industrialization, which is businesses getting stronger, and the westward movement, which is people moving out west and our country growing. And as you learn about that important time period in our history, you will be asking, how do people, laws, and new technology shape a nation? In that time period, our country was still pretty young, so everything we were doing was affecting how our country would grow. So, third graders, I hope that you are excited because these are some really exciting units that you're going to dive into in fourth grade. But let's think about what we can do over the summer to get us ready to learn about these exciting things. First, I want to start off with what you can read. First and foremost, I recommend reading an atlas of our country. Here are two that I recommend. They are both from National Geographic. One is the Beginner's United States Atlas, and one will have a little more information and be a little more complex, and this is just a United States Atlas. But both of these texts will give you a really great overview into our country, where states are, what the geography is in different parts of our country, and how that affects the people and the animals who live there. Next, I recommend a National Geographic book. It's the Encyclopedia of the American Indian, their history and culture. You will be learning so much about Native Americans this year. And this book will give you such a great introduction into their culture. I recommend that you specifically look for chapters and sections that teach you about the Iroquois and Algonquin because those are the Native Americans that were originally from what is now New York State. Next, there is a book here called The American Revolution for Kids. Not only will this give you a really, really interesting history of the American Revolution, but it also comes with so many fun activities that you can do. So I highly recommend this book as well. The next book is the book Colonial America, an interactive history adventure. This one is so much fun. There are 3 story paths, 47 choices, and 23 endings. It's a choose your own adventure book, but as you're having fun and choosing your own adventure, you're learning so much about colonial America. So I recommend that you check out Colonial America, an interactive history adventure. Next, we have the book Our Government, The Three Branches. You will also be learning about how our government formed and the 3 branches of our government and what important jobs they have. This book will give you a really wonderful overview. The last 2 books are Henry's Freedom Box, a true story from the Underground Railroad, and What Was the Underground Railroad. In 4th grade this year, you will be learning so much about the Underground Railroad and African Americans' fight for freedom from slavery. The Underground Railroad is probably not what you think. It actually wasn't a railroad, but it was a path and a series of safe houses that helped escaped slaves get to the North. These 2 books will give you wonderful stories and exciting and heartbreaking and stories of bravery that will help you understand the Underground Railroad better. All of these books can be found on Amazon or at your local library. You can feel free to take a screenshot of these books so that you can reference them. Now I want to talk about what you can do. First and foremost, if possible, you must visit the Museum of the American Indian. It is in Lower Manhattan, right here. And it has so many amazing things to check out. I have been there a few times. Because you'll be learning so much about Native Americans this year, it would be so wonderful and so awesome if you were able to check out this museum ahead of time. Next, I recommend going to visit the Metropolitan Museum of Art, or as many people refer to it, the Met. There are so many exciting things to see here, but I definitely recommend that you check out the American Wing. There, you'll actually be able to see lots of really cool artifacts from colonial, revolutionary, and onward times that you will learn about in 4th grade this year. I also recommend that you complete a puzzle of a map of the New York State or our country. As you grow up, it's going to be so important that you start to learn where different states are. So this would be a really fun way to practice. And last but not least, I always recommend writing a letter to your local politician to ask questions that you have about social studies or just to ask for change. Maybe you see that there's a lot of garbage piling up on your street and you want that to change. Write your local politician a letter and ask them to do something about it. All right, last but not least, what can you explore? This is a really fun New York interactive map that helps you learn more about the geography of our state. Here is the web address, and I highly recommend that you check out that really cool game. Next, National Geographic Kids has a really wonderful page about Native Americans. Here is the web address. There are so many beautiful pictures, texts, videos, all these different things that help you learn more about their culture. And last but not least, nationalgeographic.com has an interactive Underground Railroad map. You can check this out and you can again look at pictures, read stories, and learn more about this Underground Railroad that was so important to our country. Third graders, I hope that you have a wonderful summer growing your social studies brain. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this video. Feel free to rewind it and take screenshots of anything you want to remember. Have a great summer.